parallel and perpendicular lines with transversal lines, how to find equivalent angles. What are they? Parallel lines are lines in a plane that are always the same distance apart. Perpendicular lines are lines that intersect at 90 degrees. Why? Helps create something aesthetically pleasing. Interesting fact, butterflies have taste receptors on their feet. Now, let's take a look at the examples we're going to be discussing in today's video. Let's take a closer look at example 1. Now let's read the steps. Step 1, why are the angles congruent? Step 2, solve for the variable. Let's read the question. Lines P and Q are parallel. Part A, find x. Part B, find angle 8. It's good to read the entire question because sometimes the later parts give you information to help you solve the earlier parts. Now, let's take a look at the image that they gave us. They gave us two measurements, angle 1, 2x plus 4, and angle 5, 5x minus 155. And they did not give us angle 8. Let's start with part A. Now we're going to color the angles that are congruent. We can do this because lines P and Q are parallel, and line S is a transversal line. Now we can say angle 1 and angle 5 are congruent because the two angles are corresponding angles. So we can set the two expressions equal to each other. Now we have 5x minus 155 is equal to 2x plus 4. Let's add some hidden symbols to help us solve for x. Since we are solving for x, let's put the x's together by moving the positive 2x, or rather the plus 2x, to the other side. And the inverse of plus is minus, so we're going to subtract 2x on the right hand side. Those two terms cancel. And now we need to do it to the left hand side, and now we're going to subtract positive 5x minus 2x, and the result of that is positive 3x. And now we have positive 3x minus 155 is equal to positive 4. Let's move that minus 155 to the other side since we're solving for x, and the inverse of minus is addition, so we're going to add 155 to the left hand side. Those two numbers cancel. And now we're going to add 155 to the other side, and the result of positive 4 plus 155 is positive 159. And now we have positive 3 times x, which is equal to positive 159. We said times, and the inverse of times is divide, so we're going to go ahead and divide by positive 3 so we can isolate x. And those two numbers cancel, and now we're going to divide by positive 3 on the right hand side, and positive 159 divided by positive 3 is 53. So x is equal to 53. That is our answer for part A. Now let's move on to part B, which is find angle 8. Before we do that, we need to substitute 53 into either angle 1 or angle 5, whatever you fancy. This time we're going to substitute 53 into angle 1, which is 2x plus 4. And now let's substitute 53 into the variable x, and now we have the measure of angle 1 is equal to positive 2 times the parentheses of 53 plus 4. Let's simplify by multiplying positive 2 and 53, and the result of that is positive 106. And now we have the measure of angle 1 is equal to positive 106 plus 4, and the result of that is positive 110. So the measure of angle 1 is 110 degrees. Now let's find angle 5, and remember, angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles, so angle 1 and angle 5 are congruent, so the measure of angle 5 is also 110 degrees. Let's just focus on the three angles that we have discussed in this question: angle 1, angle 5, and angle 8. Let's take a closer look at angle 1 and angle 8. We can say angle 1 is congruent to angle 8 because they are alternate exterior angles. That is one way to find angle 8. And the other way is to focus on angle 5 and angle 8. Angle 5 is congruent to angle 8 because they are vertical angles. Either way, angle 8 is 110 degrees. And that is the answer for part B, and that is example 1. Now let's move on to example 2. Let's read the question. Lines P and Q are parallel. Part A, find x. Part B, find angle 3. Once again, it is good to read the entire question because sometimes the later parts give you information to help solve the earlier parts. Let's take a look at the image that they gave us. They gave us two measurements, angle 1, 3x plus 37, and angle 6, 6x minus 28, and they did not give us angle 3. Let's start with part A. Now we're going to color the angles that are congruent. We can do this because lines P and Q are parallel, and line S is the transversal line. Let's take a closer look at angle 1 and angle 6. We can say that angle 1 and angle 6 are not congruent because they do not follow any definitions that we know. But we can say that angle 1 and angle 5 are congruent because they are corresponding angles. And we can also say angle 5 and angle 6 are a linear pair, and they are also supplementary, which means the sum of the two angles is 180 degrees. Now we can say angle 1 and angle 6 are also supplementary, but be careful, they are not a linear pair. Nonetheless, the sum of angle 1 and angle 6 is 180 degrees. And now we can add angle 1 plus angle 6 and set that equal to 180 degrees. And now we have positive 3x plus 37 plus 6x minus 28 is equal to positive 180. Let's simplify by combining like terms. Since we're solving for x, let's go ahead and combine the x's by adding positive 3x and 6x. And the result of that is positive 9x. Now we have positive 9x plus 37 minus 28 is equal to positive 180. Let's continue to simplify by combining like terms by subtracting positive 37 minus 28, and the result is positive 9. Now we have positive 9x plus 9 is equal to positive 180. We need to move that plus 9 to the other side since we are solving for x, and the inverse of plus is minus, so we're going to subtract 9 on the left hand side. Those two numbers cancel, and now we need to do it to the right hand side, and now we're going to subtract positive 180 minus 9, and the result is positive 171. Now we have positive 9 times x, which is equal to positive 171. We said times, and the inverse of times is divide, so we're going to divide the left side by positive 9 so we can isolate x. And those two numbers cancel, and we now need to do it to the right hand side, so now we're going to divide positive 171 by positive 9, and the result is 19. So x is equal to 19. That is our answer for part A. Now let's move on to part B, which is find angle 3. Before we do that, we need to substitute 19 into either angle 1 or angle 6, whatever you fancy. Let's go ahead and pick angle 1, which is 3x plus 37. And now we're going to substitute 19 into the variable x, and now we have the measure of angle 1 is equal to positive 3 times 19 plus 37. Let's go ahead and simplify by multiplying positive 3 and 19, and the result is positive 57. Now we have the measure of angle 1 is equal to positive 57 plus 37, and the result of that is positive 94. And that is the measure of angle 1. Now we need to find angle 6, and remember angle 1 plus angle 6 is equal to 180 degrees. And now what number added to positive 94 results in 180 degrees? That number is positive 86 degrees. So now we know angle 1 and angle 6. Now let's just highlight angle 3 and angle 6, where we can say angle 3 is congruent to angle 6 because they are alternate interior angles. So that is one way to find angle 3. And another way is to focus on angle 1 and angle 3, where we can say angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. And that is because angle 1 and angle 3 form a linear pair, and they are also supplementary. Either way, we can say angle 3 is 86 degrees, and that is the answer for part B. That is example 2. Now it is your turn, so go ahead and pause the video so you can take your time to answer these questions, and I will show you the results in 3, 2, and 1. If you got them correct, superb. If not, there is always tomorrow.